Hey guys, it's your coach Eero here. So today I have a challenge for you. And this challenge comes in the form of a very terrifying exercise called the baby legs. And you are to hold this exercise for 90 seconds. And if you can't do this, it means that you need more work. So, alright, I will show it to you. So we get down here because we do this exercise lying on the ground. And in a way, it's fairly simple to do. I will show you here. So you will lie on your back, okay? The first thing is you straighten your legs, like so. Then you spread them as wide as you can here, like this way. And after this, you see my toes, I turn them outwards, like so. Okay, so a few pointers here. First is that you might not be able to, look, actually, let's do it this way. I'll put here the 90 seconds on, and I'll explain you some things about this exercise. So we do the challenge while I teach you this, okay? And here we go. So as I was saying, when you widen the legs here, you point your toes out. So first weakness that you might maybe notice is that you can't actually straighten the legs because it takes already quite a big amount of just mobility, strength from your quadriceps and hip flexors to be able to straighten the legs. So if you can't do that, it's possible that you can a little bit bend your legs. This doesn't really make it actually easier, but it makes it more doable. All right. But if you want, you get additional training from the quads. The second thing, when people do this exercise, they notice that their core is usually very weak. So I'm at a point where I really don't feel my abdominals much. I can feel them supporting, but I don't really get any soreness to them when I do the exercise. But many people, they fail very soon from the core as they're holding this, because you need to hold this, basically your core from bending like this way. So now you want to keep your lower back touching the ground. There is another version where I actually arch the back, but that is very intense for your hip flexors. So you want to keep the back on the ground to keep your groins from exploding. Okay. And of course, the main thing here is the groin and the adductor muscles, which will start to feel like right now, for example, I feel quite a lot. So this 90, like usually people, let's say they can last maybe 20 to 30 seconds. So that was our 90 seconds of time. But as I was saying, many people, when they try this the first time, they can do around 30 to 30 seconds. So it's that much intense. And it's hard to sometimes believe this way. I personally do maybe some like 3 minutes holds every now and then. But like right now, even just that 90 second hold feels very strongly over here in the groin muscles, especially like this is the main thing that you're doing. Another thing that you maybe notice in the start that you can't even really rotate your toes out, right? This is already usually quite tough. The further you spread the legs and the more you squeeze the toes out, the harder it becomes. So you might notice it's very like a big shaking in the legs too. So I'm bringing this up is because people might maybe look at this exercise as something very super basic or super easy, but it very quickly reveals numerous weaknesses actually in the body. So as I mentioned, there's the quadriceps. You might notice you can't straighten the legs. You might notice that you can't rotate externally the feet, so you have a lack of rotation and rotational strength as well. Then the next thing you notice, your core can't hold yourself up there, and it should feel quite easy for the core. If you feel your core strongly, it means that there's quite significant weakness there. Then the groin muscles, definitely your adductors, that's the biggest thing. I still feel them quite a lot, but it has gotten a lot easier since I've practiced it. But this is really the main thing. It just reveals this sort of big weaknesses in your hip area and in the core. But the good thing is that when you practice, when you train this exercise, it does develop all of these characters in your body quite simply. And when you do a hold, which is very important, that it's you have a long time under tension, it takes the exercise to have a very deep impact in your body. Much deeper than if you were just, because usually if I told people, well, test your strength, what they would do is they would be like this way. Okay, I got it, I'm strong. So that's very often the way that people test their strength. Or there might be like sort of like, you know, I can hold my leg here. Well, usually here they can, but and then they would think that they have the strength in it. But you need to go much deeper and have a little bit more time under tension there. Like this, for example, in many of our training programs, we emphasize sort of either slowness, and there's many repetitions, or it can be a hold. But there needs to be a sufficient amount of time under that sort of like a contraction. Your muscle needs to be contracted for a long period of time. This makes the effect go very deep into your structure. It can actually change how your body behaves afterwards. So you should already feel after like one hold of those, you might feel that, well, your legs can sometimes move a little easier, a little higher. I've noticed this with some of my clients when they do this, that they suddenly they have better control of their hips, and they can, you know, they have a little bit increased flexibility, because most of the time, you know, for example, some people, they stretch their hamstrings and they go here and they stretch. But you can also do like this, what I show here, which is a sort of an active version. You're pulling the legs to the stretch and you're actually stretching the hamstrings while you do it. So it's easy to overestimate your level of strength. It's very easy to also overestimate like how balanced your body is, because simply like no matter how big your back squat is, it's not going to make, for example, this exercise easy. It's not going to cure the weaknesses that this exercise does. So you can't rely on the numbers on some of the lifts to think that your body is complete, or it is actually very strong, or even balanced or functional either. Alright guys, that's it. So give this a try. Try to hold it for that 90 seconds. And if you can't, don't worry, you know, this exercise, as you keep working on it, will make you stronger. It will fix a lot of these weaknesses. And if you're looking for something, you know, more like a thorough routine for yourself, I have a free mobility class, and this baby leg exercise is actually one of the exercises in the class, along with multiple other mobility exercises, some of my favorite exercises there. The class goes in very much detail, our internal approach to training and developing mobility. It's great if you have, you know, tightnesses and pains in your body, so this should really help you get started on fixing that. But we also have multiple programs, training programs that are highly praised. They are used by thousands of people at the moment. We have people from all walks of life doing the beginners, advanced, all sorts of people figuring out, you know, where they're weakest, and also realizing their own fullest potential through fixing these weaknesses and getting truly strong. Because we always focus on performance, health, posture in each of our programs, and they really train you in multiple different areas of the fitness. So you can check those programs or the mobility class, which you can find from the dayofmobility.com. And that's it, guys. Try this exercise, baby legs. It will surprise you. All right, see you. Pow!